Hi, I'm Martina Neville, Account Manager and SEO Specialist here at Alto Marketing. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about how you can create an SEO content calendar to enhance your awareness and improve your overall lead generation. Let's start with why you should think about creating an SEO content calendar. Firstly, a content calendar helps you to stay on track. Developing content that aligns with your longer-term business goals ultimately helps you save time and money. In addition, a content calendar really helps your team stay organised by setting out the deliverables, so that everybody, from your writers through to your social media team, know what needs to be delivered and at what time. Perhaps the biggest benefit of SEO content is the potential for huge increases in your organic traffic. That's traffic that comes to your site from search engines. And we know that search engines are becoming ever more important when it comes to content. The reason being is that searchers, 80% of searchers in fact, won't click through to the second page of the search engine results. So it's really key that your content features on the first page of the search engine results. Also, an SEO content calendar can really help to build your website's domain authority. And domain authority is essentially a trust factor used by search engines to determine the quality of your site. Essentially, the higher the quality of your site, the easier it is for you to rank on that all-important first page. Then finally, a content calendar ensures that you're visible at all times. That way, your customers know who to go to when they're looking for a product or a service. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of creating an SEO content calendar. Well, step one is to always keep your eye on the competition. So really assess their business offering. Find out what it is that they offer. What are their products and services like? What kind of content are they publishing? But most importantly, understand their target audience. Is it the same target audience that you wish to target? For example, is your competitor targeting researchers in academia, but you wish to target researchers in the pharma and biotech space? Knowing that difference will really help you when it comes to developing content. And secondly, understanding what your competitors do really helps you to identify gaps in content and potentially utilise that for your own content calendar. So we can see from the simple graph on the right that we have your competitors' performance, essentially based on the content they're publishing, and then you can see that there's a gap where a requirement isn't being fulfilled. That's where you come in. So you can use your content within your content calendar to fulfill those requirements. And then finally, you can identify any number of potential keyword opportunities. By looking at your competitor sites, comparing that against your own, you can identify gaps in keywords, perhaps keywords that you currently aren't using. Or essentially, you may notice what keywords your competitors should be using that they aren't, that you can then target. So step two is to really start building out your list of keywords. So let's talk about how you might go about doing that. Well, if it's an area that you're familiar with or you have some expertise, you might already know what you think searchers are looking for. So you can note those down and then they can be bulk imported into one of the many tools online. In addition to that, you may know one or two terms related to the topic and you can use that using the online tools, and they will help generate a list of related topics which will then help to build out these seed topics. So for example here, our starting seed topic was PCR and primers, and then we started building out topics such as what is PCR, PCR tips and tricks, how to interpret qPCR data. Secondly, using one of the several tools, you should start noting down the keyword search volume. Now, search volume is the number of times a particular term has been searched for within a 1 month period. This may differ across tools. Some will let you look at longer term periods, such as 6 months and 10 months, and you can also see trends across those volumes. Now, the one thing that's really important here is that when choosing these terms, you don't automatically choose the term that has the highest search volume. So we can see here that the term PCR has over 1 million searches per month. But that's a very broad subject area. And actually, if you wanted to talk about content that is essentially PCR tips and tricks, then you're not going to be in the right niche in the search engine results. Essentially, all that means is that while you may feature, someone isn't going to click through to your content. So essentially, being in that place is useless. So it's really important to make sure your keyword is right for your business. Make sure that keyword fits your business niche. Don't choose broad terms that aren't related to the products and services you offer. Ensure that in every way those terms are related to what it is you do. That's the best way to ensure that if people click through to that page, that they stay on the page and that bounce rate is reduced. And finally, you need to compare the domain authority of your site against your search engine competitors. So they are the people who feature when you might search for a term such as PCR tricks. You need to ensure that on that first page, your domain authority is higher than at least one of those. So now let's talk about how we're going to start generating those all-important topics. So this is really the crux of the content calendar. So here, it's important to include details such as the date you'd like to publish the content. So determine whether it is you'll be publishing once, twice, or 10 times a month. Then talk about the kind of content type that you'll be developing. That could be anything from a blog to an ebook, right through to PR. And then essentially include an overview of the word count. And generally for search engine optimized content, we'd recommend 800 words or more for optimal performance. And then we move into the on-page elements. And these are the elements of your content where your keywords will be used to help search engines determine what your content is really about. So note down your primary keyword. Now, your primary keyword is essentially the really critical ranking factor. So these are the terms that you're going to be using within your page title, meta description, H1 tag, and image alt text. Now, the secondary keyword is used to just enhance your content. So if you don't have secondary keywords, it's absolutely fine. And then you start building out your page title and your meta description. Your meta description, a good meta description, will feature within the search engine results pages. So don't forget to include a call to action, which will help increase click-through rate. And then we have the H1 tag, which is usually the primary title on the page once you land on the page. And then you can add additional columns, such as we do here at Alto, a brief description of the content. This helps limit the time for research when it comes to writing. We also assign writers and editors at that point, talk about promotion dates, and decide where the content will be promoted. Is it going to be promoted on LinkedIn, for example? That way, going back to slide 1, your team understands what it is that needs to be delivered and when. So let's talk about your reasons not to create a content calendar that's SEO focused. And you'll see here from my very big hint that there are no good reasons for that. Here are some of the things that I've heard over time. SEO keywords make for boring content. Well, this is perhaps the biggest myth in the world of SEO. You can use SEO keywords within your page titles to make them clickbaity, just in the same way that you would with any other term or word. In fact, using that SEO keyword just ensures that people are actually seeing that title. You don't have the time. Well, I would recommend investing upfront with the time and the money for a longer term strategy that reaps bigger rewards. Now, I like to refer to the analogy of building a house. You wouldn't dream of building a house without good plans and great foundations, because that house is destined to fail. It's the same with SEO content. SEO are the foundations of your content in your website, and without that, your website isn't going to be able to weather the issues that it might face over time. You don't need SEO content, right? Because quite frankly, you're doing okay. You're paying for ads, you're seeing good results from that, you're posting on social media, and that's great. But what happens when you no longer have the money to keep investing in paid ads, or you don't have someone dedicated on your team to keep posting on social media? That's where your SEO comes in. Now, referring back to the analogy of the house, where SEO are your foundations, paid ads and social media are kind of like your new extension, your new bathroom, your new garden. They all add value to what is already there. So, but without SEO, you don't have a successful program. So it's really important that before you start investing in paid ads, in promoting social media, that you have a solid SEO foundation in place. You need flexibility. Well, that's absolutely fine. Just because you've developed that 12-month content calendar up front doesn't mean that you can't tweak some of that content along the way if your business goals do happen to change over time. It's pretty simple to do. You can go back to your existing list of seed topics and keywords and very quickly identify a new keyword to build out a new topic, and that should take you no time at all. So it's important to remember that SEO content really means your content is meeting your customer needs and it's hitting your target audience. It also significantly increases ROI over a longer period of time. But perhaps most importantly, SEO really ensures that you can hit your business targets by ensuring that you're developing content that is related and aligns with your longer term business goals. So of course, this video is here to help you develop an SEO content calendar. But here at Alto, we're specialists in developing SEO content calendars for the life science and healthcare sector. So if this is something that you're interested in and you'd like to talk to us about this more, don't hesitate to contact us.